I know very few people who love cleaning. For most of us, cleaning is something we wanted to get done quickly and easily, especially if you've got guests coming over, you've got the holiday season coming up. So let me show you my favorite quick minimalist cleaning hacks that will make cleaning a lot quicker and easier for you. Let's dive in. Well, hello there friends and welcome back to Simple Essentials. I did a poll a little while ago on YouTube and asked you guys what you wanted to hear more about in future videos, and my minimalist cleaning routine came up. So I've got a few different videos planned in this vein, but today I wanted to quickly share with you some really simple cleaning tips that can make cleaning fast and easy regardless how big a home or family you have. So let us start with what I use for cleaning. So naturally, for cleaning, you need a couple of different tools, and there's a lot of different schools of thought out there on what you use. My default almost all the time is hot, soapy water. If I'm cleaning something that has a lot of bacteria, I might sometimes put a tiny bit of bleach or something in there, but obviously it depends on the surface that you're cleaning. If you don't feel comfortable using hot soapy water, I would recommend that you I normally just have these on hand. Oops. This is a glass cleaner, a standard one that you can just get from the supermarket, not sponsored or anything, and this is an all-purpose cleaner. So quite often what I'll do if I need to quickly clean up the house, if we're having guests or something, I'll bring a trusty microfiber towel, I'll chuck one on top of each bottle, and I'll go around the house and clean either the glass in the mirrors or my surfaces. Hot soapy water for almost anything is very, very safe. And if it's just dusty and it doesn't need to clean, just a damp microfiber cloth is great. I also I color code these. So basically in my kitchen, I have green and orange ones is what I use in my kitchen. So for washing dishes and things like that. And the other colors are things that live in my cleaning cupboard. So for example, if my husband is putting laundry away, he knows the colored ones that always go in the kitchen, and he knows the ones that are used for sort of cleaning. Now, I don't have these all in my cleaning cupboard. I actually spread these out tactically across the house, and I'll show you that in a minute. But microfiber cloths or whatever you like to use, I think these are great. Now, I know some people will argue there are microplastics and other things in them, but because you can use them quite often without chemicals, I do still prefer these. It's the lesser of many evils, I guess. Another thing to have is a handy dandy brush of some kind. This is a grout brush that I bought from like a hardware store, I think. It's really cheap, but this is great if you are cleaning a shower or something like that and you want to get in between the tiles. You can use this with some hot soapy water, maybe a little bit of vinegar or something to get the grime off. Works really well. And this is an old dish brush that's no longer used as a dish brush. I've literally just taken it and I use it around like little corners and crevices in your bathroom sink or things like that. Old toothbrushes are also really, really good, so don't throw them away. It's always good to have one of them to kind of get into those little nooks and crannies that are hard to get into with a cloth. So that's basically it. I also do have a mop with that has sort of a microfiber cloth head on it. I don't even mop every week. I probably mop every 2 to 3 weeks maybe, because it's just my husband and I. We currently don't have pets, so we don't really need a lot of things like that. But these are the main things that I use for weekly cleaning, and my vacuum cleaner, of course. That's pretty much it. Hot soapy water and a sponge or a cloth of some kind gets you a really long way. And that's essentially all you need. Of course, you can get specialist cleaners for glass or grout or your stove and things like that. But I do encourage you to explore just using hot soapy water. Sometimes with a little bit of vinegar can help you cut through grease, and a little bit of bleach in your hot soapy water, just dish soap, can really help you kill bacteria. So you don't actually need a whole lot of chemicals in your cupboard at all to do your cleaning. So now that we've talked about what you use for cleaning, let's dive into and talk about my favorite principles to keep a clean house and make cleaning easier. The first one is so obvious, but yet so many countries in the world don't do this, which is no shoes in the house. I grew up in Scandinavia and we simply don't wear shoes in the house. Or if it's very cold, you might take your outside shoes off and put some slippers or something on for in the house if it's cold on the floor. I know many Asian countries are very similar to Scandinavia in this way, that we simply don't wear shoes in the house, whether it's out of respect or practicality. But the biggest thing is, think about it. You've been outside, or your kids have been outside. There's sand, there's dust, there's muck. And in many countries, people wear shoes in the house as a default. Naturally, when you bring the outside into your house, there is going to be a lot more cleaning to be done. Now, I know with kids, dogs, and other things, this can be tricky. But if you have no shoes in the house as a rule, and you let people know that please take your shoes off when you come in, we've even made it dead simple by putting a bench with, for shoes for people to sit down and take off their shoes or put them back on when they leave. If you include that in your furniture in your house, it becomes so much easier for everyone, both guests and people who live in the house, to take their shoes off and not track their dirt in throughout the house. Let me know in the comments below if you are a no shoes household, because we certainly are. Next up is a really common thing, which is the difference between organizing and cleaning. You would have seen many videos here in my channel where I kind of do both at the same time. Like if I go through my pantry, I might wipe some surfaces down and declutter at the same time. Typically, I recommend that you first declutter and organize and then go through and clean. Because most often what happens when we declutter, we get rid of a bunch of stuff. So when we get rid of a bunch of stuff, it becomes easier to clean that space, whether it's a bathroom cabinet, linen cabinet, living room floor, whatever that is. So don't organize and clean at the same time, especially if you're short on time. Focus on one project and get that done, and then come back and do a deep clean later if you need to. In the same vein of decluttering and organizing, I am a huge fan of the daily declutter. And what I mean by that is do a reset in the busiest area of your house. For us, it's the kitchen and living room. Every single day we watch TV, we cook in the kitchen, we hang out, and that area will inevitably be the area that's the messiest. So every night before we go to bed, we tend to fold away the blankets, put the cushions back in order, stack the dishwasher, clean off the surfaces in the kitchen so that in the morning when you come out there, it's decluttered. And even though it's not sparkly, bacterially clean, it is clean to the eye. And when you do those daily habits and declutters, I've mentioned it before, but I have friends of mine who have little kids, and they just set a timer for a 5-minute cleanup of the living room, playroom, or the common area every night before the kids go to bed. And the thing is, like with any habit for kids or for adults, if you get in the habit of doing it, it's going to feel so natural that it doesn't even really feel like a task. And it's one of those things, if you just spent 5 minutes doing that, future you will thank you and the people collaborating with you for going through that effort and putting the things away. So if you get into that habit, the cleaning of these spaces actually becomes a lot easier, because it's a lot easier to wipe down or dust off an area that is not messy. Most often, most weeks, my husband and I will set a timer on the weekend and we'll spend 30 to 60 minutes max cleaning our entire house. Now, we have a 3-bed, 2-bathroom house, and we've got it on 2 floors, so we've got a pretty long staircase as well. But between the two of us, we can clean this entire house, including vacuuming and mopping, very quickly. But the thing that I do to make sure that we stay on top of things throughout the week is that I do little micro cleaning things. So what I mean by micro cleaning is, let's say that I'm standing in my bathroom upstairs and I'm brushing my teeth and I notice that there's a lot of little watermarks on my mirror. I typically keep a glass cleaner and a cloth right there in the bathroom, because I know that that's a hot spot where it's going to get messy. And if you have little ones and toothpaste and all that stuff, you know what I mean. So I can easily take this glass cleaner, and the moment I'm done brushing my teeth and, doing my makeup or whatever, I can give the mirror a quick clean and it's out of my way. And that means that maybe I don't need to deep clean every single week. Maybe I can stretch it to every 10 days or so. So that's the thing with micro cleaning. The same goes for your kitchen. If you are cleaning up in the kitchen after you're done doing some meal prepping, giving the tiles or the backsplash a really quick wash as part of your kitchen clean will mean that you don't have to deep clean quite as often. Next up is one of my favorite hacks, which is zone cleaning. So if you can't get to cleaning your whole house that day for whatever reason and you don't have enough people around to help you, focus on one zone at a time. It's kind of that feeling, you know, like when all of a sudden someone's coming over to visit and you're like, oh, my house is not ready for visitors. If you focus on cleaning maybe the hallway, the main bathroom, the kitchen area, whatever area is most visible to you or your visitors, doing a really good quick zone clean can usually be done in 30 to 60 minutes max, and you'll feel a lot more comfortable and ready to receive guests. By the way, this is not just if external people are coming into your house. It could very well be that your house is messy and it feels really overwhelming. Just take one room at a time or one area at a time and make sure to get that really nice and clean for your own enjoyment too. One big thing when it comes to cleaning that I learned from my grandma is that gravity is your friend. Basically, all that means is that you work your way from up to down, and you do your floors and your vacuuming last. Quite often I'll see people doing dusting and vacuuming and they kind of interchange between the two. But the reality is that things fall down. So start with your dusting of, say, windowsills or door frames or whatever you're working on, a bookshelf maybe. Do that first, and all that stuff is going to fall down on the floor anyway, and then you finish with the vacuuming. Part of that as well, by the way, is taking things like if you've got big rugs or anything like that, taking them outside and shaking them out before you do your vacuuming is really, really important, because otherwise a lot of dirt and sand and things like that is going to hide inside your rugs. That's not something I necessarily do every single week, but it's definitely something I do every couple of weeks to make sure that we're not treading too much dirt into the house. And finally, and probably my most important minimalist cleaning hack, is teamwork is your friend. I almost never clean this house by myself. My husband and I will almost always take on different tasks. For example, he knows that I hate vacuuming. Like, I'll do it, but it's my least favorite chore. Let me know, by the way, in the comments if you are also a person who doesn't like vacuuming. Like, I love what it looks like after, but I just hate doing it. So anyway, bless him, he knows this, so he will often say, if you do the dusting or if you wipe down the counters, I'll come after and do the vacuuming. And that's the thing I find, like, we've gotten into a really good groove where I'll go, you know, in front, I'll have my cleaning spray or my rags or my little brushes or whatever. I'll go ahead and do that first. He'll then come in and do the vacuuming. And if it needs to be done, which we don't do every single time, we'll go over some of the floors with a mop as well. So don't be afraid to ask your family, your housemate, your kids, whomever you live with, to come and help you, because having a clean and tidy home and having it be quick and easy makes you less grumpy, it makes your place look beautiful, and it just makes everyone that little bit happier. And I think for me personally, even if I don't have kids myself, I feel like it's one of those things that my parents always did. We had responsibilities and chores to help keep the house tidy, and it's something I think that really helped both me and my two younger brothers to really, I guess, pitch in and appreciate a clean space and working on those sort of things together. Those are some of my simple cleaning hacks, and I have a future video for you when you can clean along with me if you like. But essentially, the main thing when it comes to cleaning is if you have less stuff, then you have less stuff to clean, and it's a lot easier to keep surfaces clear and things put away. And that makes the whole cleaning process a lot easier. I also have a quarterly declutter video coming up for you. I will link the one I recently did up here if you need some inspiration in the meantime. But it's end of November as I filmed this video, and it's one of those things where it's an important time of year before the holidays to just kind of clear out your cupboards, clear out your clutter, give everything a really good deep clean, whether you're in autumn or like here in Australia, we're in spring going into summer. So it's a really good time to do a quick sweep of your house, clean out all the cobwebs and make it all nice for the holiday season. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments below what some of your favorite minimalist cleaning tips are. I would love to add them to my list, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.